Well, hello, friends. Jennifer here. I am back from my vacation for my 50th birthday. If you don't know, I just turned 50. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And Jason and I and friends went to the lovely St. Thomas on vacation. It was all on my Instagram if you followed us there. And so I am back. And how many of you know that re-entry is hard? Re-entry is hard when you've been off for a hot minute. And so I am doing this podcast at kind of an odd time of day because I've had just a lot of catch up to do after being, off for, well, if you include the weekends, I was off for a good 11 days there. So, but I'm excited about this podcast because it's one of my favorite women in the Bible. I'm talking about the Proverbs 31 woman today, but from a different angle than maybe you've ever heard of it. Okay. I'm going to talk from an angle of how Proverbs 31 woman was a businesswoman. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. I'm super excited about it. Let's talk about Proverbs 31 woman. All right. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, you know that I literally have my Bible in front of me. Or maybe you can't see that. Well, just believe me, my Bible's sitting right here. And actually, this is like the coolest Bible ever. So we always have people stay at the house, when we're gone on vacation. My mom stayed with the kiddos and she left me a note on top of this Bible when she got back. And she said, "Oh my gosh, where did you get this Bible, Jen? It is my absolute favorite. I literally sat at your chair and read it every morning." So if you go to Google and type in Jennifer Allwood Amazon store, because I have like a store, and you go down to books, you will find my favorite journal or my favorite Bible. It's the New King James Version. It's large print for those of us that have mature eyes. And so I've got that open in front of me. Okay. So in full transparency, I can tell you that not being a Bible scholar, not having gone to Bible college, not growing up in a Christian home, just really, really falling in love with the Lord in the last 2 decades. When I used to, especially as a young mother and a young wife, hear about the Proverbs 31 woman, I felt like A, she's out of reach. B, she's out of touch. C, I can never do that. I can never be her. And I used to not love reading about the Proverbs 31 woman because I felt like it felt to me like it was almost like unattainable. Does that make sense? I don't know. I mean, there's a heading of, it says the virtuous wife. And that just made me feel like, am I doing a good enough job? And the truth is, I think I was reading Proverbs 31 a lot of times with the wrong set of eyes. And so as I've studied Proverbs 31 throughout the years and learned more and hopefully grown more, and as I have really, become and positioned myself and grown more into being a businesswoman, the Proverbs 31 woman literally has come alive to me in a different way. She really has. And so if you are a business person, you are going to love this. Okay. So there's some parts of this that I want to bring attention to, because I think if you read Proverbs 31, and if you do not have a Bible, by the way, go just to Google and type in Proverbs 31 and it will come up for you. And I'm starting on about verse 10, where it talks about being a virtuous wife and the heart of her husband, safely trusts in her, which I love, by the way. And then it starts talking about what she does for work. Okay. I'm going to read a couple of things. So she seeks wool and flax. So number one, she's like a searcher if she's seeking, right? She's out looking for stuff. I think about all the women I know who are literally in the hobbly wobbly and you're looking for things, or you're a DIYer and you're out thrifting. So she's looking for stuff. She willingly works with her hands. I think of all of my creatives, all of the people in my coaching group who are makers, DIYers, creatives of any sort. Okay. She's like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. So she's good at bringing home a deal, bringing something home that she found somewhere. And I think of how that, looks in terms of the women that I'm coaching and the women who are in business, who are trying to kind of make something happen. And so there's this tiny bit, I don't want to use the word hustle because that'll feel gross probably, but there's a little bit of she's like snap. She's doing some stuff. Okay. She rises while it's yet still night. I can't relate. Proverbs 31 woman. I want to, but I can't. And she provides food for her household. So when I read that, what do I think? And again, I'm not a Bible scholar. Okay. So this is just a girl who loves business and loves Jesus and tries to string the two together whenever I can. And by the way, if this sort of conversation is appealing to you, I did just recently start a new Facebook group. It's free, totally free. FREE, that spells free. It's called a prayer group for women entrepreneurs. If you want to go find that, it's for Christian women. And that's how I actually got the idea for this podcast, is because I put a post in that group and just was trying to encourage the other Christian business women that are in there about how the Proverbs 31 woman, she did a lot of things. And she was highly regarded by her family, by her community, and as a businesswoman. Okay. So go find that group. Just look for a prayer group for Christian or prayer group for women entrepreneurs, and you'll find that Facebook group. Okay. So she's saying that she provides food for her household. Okay. And I want you to pay close attention to this. Are you ready? And a portion for her maidservants. Now that's maidservants with an S. Okay. So I want to tell you as a businesswoman, how you can look at that line. She had help. The Proverbs 31 woman had help. She had house help. She had help. She had people helping her. She's doing all this other stuff. She's bringing in food. She's working with her hands, and she had maidservants with an S, more than one. So she didn't just have a little help. She had help in who knows what areas. So for those of you who are businesswomen who are like refusing to get help, and you just keep trying to do your website, you just keep trying to post on social, and you're not gaining any traction. Listen, even the Proverbs 31 woman had help in certain areas. Okay. Next line. She considers a field and she buys it. Ooh, she's into real estate, which is exciting to me since Jason and I'm in the process right now of purchasing furniture for our new home in Florida, which we're super excited about. It says here that she from her profits, she plants a vineyard. So she reinvests. I love that. She gives herself a strength. She strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good. Can I get a yes and an amen for that line? She perceives that her merchandise is good and her lamp does not go out by night. Okay. So when I read that, I'm like, okay, first of all, she believed in what she was doing. She believed in what she was providing. My guess is that her confidence was in the Lord, but perceiving that your stuff is good is so important when you're in business. And I love this as her lamp does not go out by night. This is what it makes me think of. As a creative, as a businesswoman, my mind is kind of always going. And so I don't know if that means her literal lamp. I would need to ask somebody that's way better at the Bible than me, or her figuratively, I can read that figuratively and think of I wonder if her too, laid awake a lot of times at night, thinking about things and how to do things and how to make the world a better place. And I don't know, but I want you to be encouraged. If you are a woman who you love business, but you've had teaching that maybe you shouldn't work, or that you should be, staying at home, which by the way, you can work from home. That's exactly what I teach all of the people that I have got in my coaching groups, is how to work from home. But I want you just to read Proverbs 31 with a different set of eyes, and maybe look at it not from the angle of wife and mother, but from angle of provided for her family, how she provided financially and how she contributed. Because a lot of times when I'm talking in my coaching groups about the Proverbs 31 woman, and I talk about it from this angle, it'll help women feel differently about Proverbs 31 than what they originally did, and also kind of see it with some different eyes. So I hope that is encouraging for someone today. If it was, will you do an Instagram story of this? Just like screenshot your podcast right now. Go to Instagram, especially if you're in my coaching group, and we've been talking about the importance of Instagram stories. Load it to your stories, tag me at Jennifer Allwood, and tell me what you loved most about the podcast, or something that you learned, or just tell people to go listen to it. But A, I hope it encourages other women. B, that'll force you to go do some Instagram stories, which is going to help you get better at Instagram. And anytime you can do the things on Instagram that it wants you to, whether it's reels or videos or stories or whatever, it's going to help the algorithm and get your things that are you posting in the feed seen more. So go do a story and do it on my podcast if you want. And go find my Facebook group if you are a woman of faith who's in business. If you are not in business, if you do not have a business, and it could be a baby business, but then you're probably going to hate the group because it's praying about business. It's talking about business. So it's a business group. Okay. But go do a search for it. It's prayer group for women entrepreneurs. We've got well over 2,000 women in there. I'd love to have you in there. Just started it. I'm so sorry that my dog is barking. God bless her. And God bless you too. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.